evening, Steve Goodwin.
Good evening, Ingram. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Keeping busy, keeping busy.
Thank you so much for talking to BaylorIC TV.
Pleasure. First of many times over the next few months, hopefully.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we have an announcement to make, and I think you would be the best person to talk about it. So
Yeah, well, we're delighted to say that the next big bill, the Brawl in the Hall, that's attracted massive public interest, and the event's nearly sold out, will be shown on BaylorIC TV at 7:30 p.m. That's the Tuesday after the fight. So nobody will be able to see any of the action on any streaming on the night. The first viewing will be on the following Tuesday at 7:30, and we'll be showing the best of the action, including the massive heavyweight clash between Ian Lewis and Tom Dallas.
So people would ask the question, why should they tune in to watch these fights?
Well, because on Tuesday night there's not much else to watch, and secondly, because our shows offer great value for money. They're fantastic events, and we've got 4 title fights and some very, very evenly matched fights. So if they're boxing fans, it really is somewhere they want to be on that Tuesday night to watch it.
So, okay, you've got Ian Lewison and Tom Dallas. Tell us a little bit about both fighters.
Well, Ian Lewison is boxing's great enigma. He's somebody who's got all the talent in the world, but hasn't ever really delivered. We've had him for a year, and he's basically started to propel himself up the rankings. And this is his crossroads fight. He's fighting for the Southern Area title against Tom Dallas, who fought a British title eliminator with David Price around 2 years ago and fought Matt Skelton. He's trying to build his way back. The winner's going to get a crack at something major in the next 6 months or so, and the loser's got a massive rebuilding job to do. It's a real crossroads fight. Ian has been quite vocal in his opinions about Tom on Twitter, so there's a lot of needle building up there. It's a fight really that could be very, very explosive, and for me, has got to be one of the heavyweight fights of the year. Take Tyson Fury and David Haye out, and for me, it's the best British title fight of the year.
A little bit more about Ian Lewison. His amateur pedigree is quite impressive.
Yeah, well, he was number 4 in the world. He beat Robert Helenius and Adlanius Solis. He gave David Price a really good shout in the ABA finals twice. He had, he as an amateur, he was a real top-class amateur, but he took a break from the sport. I think he struggled to get momentum and get back in love with the sport, but he knows this is it now. He's got to really, really deliver, because if he doesn't deliver now, he's 31. His career, he's got to build up, and he knows that he's got to get a victory against Dallas to get him up there. Same for Tom Dallas, But, for Lewison, this is, in my opinion, a crossroads fight. If he loses to Tom Dallas, I think you'd struggle to know where he's going after that. So he knows that. So I think it's going to be an absolutely explosive night.
You have another fight on the bill. Mene Edwards.
J.J. Ojadiri, the big grudge match return. Don Charles, Mene's trainer, who also trains... he's JJ's trainer. He won't like me saying he's Mene's trainer. I don't think you'd want him in the same room, let alone train him. He's very, very angry after the last event. There were a few angry words exchanged after the final bell. He wasn't happy with Mene's antics. JJ has been training very hard for this. There's no love lost, and that's an understatement between both camps. And I think Mene says he's going to knock JJ out this time. JJ wants revenge. It's another explosive fight. I mean, you've got 2 there, really, really great fights on a non-TV card, and both of these fights are worthy of live TV. But what we're going to be doing is, for the first show, is giving everybody the best, which is delayed TV. And if all goes well and we get high viewing figures, we may look at streaming the next one live for all the viewers of BWTMONLINE TV in October. So it's we hope people get behind this show, and if they do, then they might get the next one live.
I heard, I saw the fight and some of the things that Mene Edwards was doing. I mean, talk fans through what actually was going on in terms of what Mene was doing.
Well, basically, Mene's been reprimanded by the boxing board and told to. He had a hearing last week. He's been given a warning. It was the sort of things like he was just, as at the end of the round, he'd blocked JJ's path back to the corner. And at one time, he even decided to sit in his corner stall when Don Charles was waiting for JJ to get back. And Don Charles wasn't happy, and a few other things as well. I mean, he's a nice guy, but, he played the psychological games. He thinks that JJ can't stand psychological games, and he actually thinks he hasn't got the heart if you get under his skin. So that's his view, and that's why he did it. I think he's got to be a little bit careful this time because the board may jump on him. But there is no love lost between the two camps. Mene's trainer, Derek Granger, was unhappy with Don Charles after the fight as well. So that's, there's a little bit of needle there. And I think it's a real grudge fight. I think it's going to be another fight that's going to be very explosive. I can't wait to see both fights. So absolutely, fantastic fights.
People will say, well, every fight's a grudge match just to sell tickets. But tell us how serious this is.
No. These two top of the bills are. We can talk about the rest of the fights on there. These two are real grudge fights. The rest of the shows, there's some good fights on, but these are the two that have got grudge fights. And I think the Mene Edwards, Joe Jajiri is a grudge fight between them. Ian Lewison just doesn't like anybody, so whoever he fights is a grudge fight. He just, I think it's him, and I think Tom Dallas's people really are just not happy with Ian's comments on Twitter, but Ian likes to get under people's skin and say what he's going to do, and he's not frightened of saying what he thinks. He may be a little bit over the top at times, but so's Tyson Fury. Some of these, that's what he does, and I think there'll be a lot of Tom Dallas fans turning up there to see him get beat. So maybe it's good for boxing.
So if people want to turn up to see the fight live, then what do they have to do?
Well, they'll have to hurry up because all the VIPs are sold out. We've only got a few ringsides left. And a few unreserves left, so they need to either get onto the boxers to get one of their remaining tickets or go to our website goodwinpromotions.co.uk. But if I'd suggest it's really good for everybody to go and see it live because it's going to be an electric atmosphere. But if you can't see it live, well, you can watch it delayed the following Tuesday.
So how much are tickets, would you say?
That's £60 for standard and £60 for ringside and £35 standard admission.
That's not bad. So how many fights would I get to see if I was going to pay that?
You get no dropouts. There's 16 fights on, so we're going to start at 5 and finish at midnight as it stands. Wow. So it's going to be a long night of boxing. But we've also got two heavyweight exciting fights: AJ Carter, Dominic Akinlandi. We've got Tony Conquest, who's former WBO international champion. He's making his comeback. He's fighting David Vicina, who's won his last 3 fights from abroad. Conquest is hoping to fight Wadi Camacho in October, but he's got to get past Vicina first. And we've got a whole host of other fights, some exciting newcomers, some people on their way up, and people making their way back. It's a really exciting build. Gives something for everybody.
I'm sure that boxing fans are going to be looking forward to this, especially seeing it afterwards on a Tuesday. There's nothing on, as you said, on a Tuesday night. So it's going to be great.
That's the idea. Tuesday night, there's no boxing. There's not much sport on. So hopefully people will get behind what we're trying to do in the new initiative. There'll be plenty of interviews. It's not just showing the fights. We're going to show interviews of the boxers as well. It's going to be an exciting night. And hopefully people get behind this. And if we get enough support, as I say, 5th of October, we've got an absolutely amazing show at Watford. And we may even stream that live for everybody if we get enough support.
Steve Goodwin, thank you so much for talking to BaylorIC TV.
Pleasure, Ingram. Take care.
Thank you.
Cheers.